morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. We're here for our weekly Marion County Board of Commissioners meeting. It is Wednesday, November 11th, 2026. We're here in the Senator hearing room. And as our tradition, we always start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right. So, Commissioner Beth, I'll take a motion to remove item number 5 from the consent agenda. I believe it is, right?
All right, I move to remove item number 5 from the agenda under the Board of Commissioners, a memorandum of understanding with Marion County Public Works for the Parkdale Park Development Project.
All right, I'll second your motion. Any further discussion?
I'll just say for the record that we are holding off on the transition of dollars. That MOU was going to do at the request of Kathy Rogers from East Salem to talk about further possible improvements at Parkdale Park.
Right. Important community park that we know a lot of history about, so appreciate that. So
And the improvements will not be a soccer field, for the record.
okay. Well, he's not here to make that motion. So, okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. That is done. Public comment, David, welcome, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner.
You know the routine for the record, please introduce yourself.
My name is David Beam. I'm a spokesman for disability people in Marion County. I like to see more funding for the mental health funding for the ones that are doing playing poker. And I think we need to look at that problem because a lot of people can't afford to get rent or something for the families. So I was thinking, well, you need to look at that for a mental health issue as soon as possible for this year and next year budget.
Okay, yeah, great. Well, we have in our health department, we do some of that work, so.
Yeah, I want to keep the
If you-
program going.
Good, and if you know anybody that needs the help, send them our way.
I will.
Make sure they get connected.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Good to
Thank-
see you.
Nice seeing
Stay
you.
dry out there today. It's cold
I
and
will.
windy.
Thank
All
you.
right, good.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Always a pleasure to see you. All right, our first item today is, let's see, a presentation from SEDCOR. I see Eric and Kit and Sarah, are you going to kick us off?
Yes.
Okay, welcome.
Good morning. Sarah Cootley, Economic Development Specialist with the Community and Economic Development Department. Today we are hosting the Strategic Economic Development Corporation, also known as SEDCOR, to give their quarterly report, and this would be for the quarter that ended on December 31st. And this is a report on their work towards business retention and expansion services in Marion County. We currently have a grant agreement with SEDCOR for $160,000 annually. And this agreement is set to expire on June 30th of 2026. So with that, I will turn it over to Eric Anderson and Kip Morris.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Anderson with SEDCOR.
Kip Morris with SEDCOR.
Morning, welcome.
Thank you for having us today. This is our report for the quarter ending December 31st. So if you have questions on more recent things, just feel free to ask as we go along. Just let's see. And just for the record, what we do is leverage public and private partnerships to successfully grow, retain, and attract high-value jobs and capital investment in Marion County and the Mid-Willamette Valley. We report consistent with our work plan, which we will be updating this year, our roadmap. But the first area that we talk about is expansion, retention, and targeted recruitment of trade sector businesses. And I'll let Kip go from here on this one.
Thank you. Yeah, so we'll kick it off with Vans Aircraft. Vans Aircraft is responding to changes with the recent Mosaic law. So that's going to allow them to produce a lot more aircraft, and that's what they're shoring up right now. They've been in discussions with SEDCOR and with OMEP to help with those efforts, and they are looking at expansions at Q3 or Q4 of 26. Kaufman Companies as well, they're looking at shoring up production. Kaufman Companies actually has a number of different businesses that are underneath that brand, and one of them is cabinet doors and regular doors. And so they've also been working with OMEP, SEDCOR, help make that connection so that they could shore up their production as well. Shampooey Farms, Kramer Farms, and Luthi Lamb Company, those three are all looking at capital investment in agrivoltaics. Shampooey Farms and Luthi Lamb are unique because they're not actually looking at purchasing equipment. They're looking at the vegetation management, using ducks and lambs to go around and to manage vegetation, where Kramer Farms is looking at agrivoltaic capital investment. Valley Fab, that was a fun day. So you see the picture on the bottom left. We actually got to spend some time with Marion County's economic development team to take them out to Valley Fab. Valley Fab recently received a rural industrial property tax exemption, and so we wanted to show them what that program looked like in action and see what the increase in production and expansion looked like. So, and there's a picture of us standing in the middle of a piece of equipment that is used to manage compost piles.
Before you move on, for each of those particular employers, what's the impact on jobs kept, jobs created, and economic investment? If you don't have it, can you get it to me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Also with Vans, that's kind of opening up the conversation again about the Aurora Airport and
Don't do that.
No, 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 no.
and providing greater certainty to the businesses that are there that want to expand.
Greater certainty.
I
That's
know.
an interesting way to
So-
put that.
Yes.
On the record, you're just pissing off Shampooey right now.
Well, we did have a meeting with the Airport Association businesses earlier in the week. Former Senator Betsy Johnson was there. She has opinions on the airport as well. But, you know, with the state aviation, Department of Aviation staff also there to kind of do a summary of what the preferred plan is for the airport, but really trying to continue to communicate that interest in providing some degree of certainty. And we toured 2 businesses with 200+ employees there, and you know, things like taxiways and access to their facilities, little things, you know, and when you look at a map, but huge things for these businesses. So trying to figure out how to you know, protect their access, how to, you know, allow the airport to grow, but at the same time allow these businesses to be viable and trust in the system enough that they will be able to expand in the future. Because there's, I'm sure you've been out there at some point in the recent times, but there's some really interesting businesses out there doing some great
FBO out
things.
there.
Pardon me?
There's a new FBO out there.
Oh, yeah, we met with them as well. And they're providing, the Nickersons are providing a lot of energy to the airport group too.
Yeah.
Which is
they
great.
are.
Well, it's good because it's been a lot of the same questions for 20+ years. So having kind of new people in with a, you know, kind of a new enthusiasm for,
Yeah.
you know, kind of counter some of the more cynical older folks like me that are, you know, like, here we go again. So we're hoping to get some movement and some renewed momentum out there.
Yeah,
Before we move on, Eric, Kit, those businesses up there, are the rest of those business on their expansion? And I know you said one of them was crops, but rural tax credit, industrial tax credit.
Vans
Marion
Aircraft.
County, Vans took advantage of it already. No, Valley
they
Fab.
will.
No, they will.
Valley Fab did.
Yeah.
Do we know how much that was, what their the amount of deferral there was
I
for
want to say
them?
with Valley Fab, it was right around $77,000 a year.
For 3 years?
Absolutely.
Right. And then what's Vans looking at? How much? Do we know yet?
That's the big question mark, because they're trying to make a decision on whether they want to develop on-site at the Aurora Airport or are they going to move their warehouse and logistics and supply off-site?
Okay.
And so that's really the big question
Growth
mark.
is a big deal. Like
Yeah.
their hangar's not that big.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, they do a lot right in
And
that
they're
little
really,
spot.
they're really tied in, yeah.
Yeah.
And they own 2 acres, like right in the
Right in
middle
the
of it,
middle.
that they
Yeah.
could, yeah, so there's definitely some desire, I think, for that, so we'll see
So,
what they
so
end up
that's, so Valley Fab saved $230,000 in property taxes over 3 years to get started.
doing. Absolutely.
And then that is, and I always make this point, that's $230,000 that's gonna start, plus 3% as it rises, that's gonna start flowing into all those taxing districts after those 3 years. But it's an incentive that we have in Marion County that nobody else has taken advantage of.
The only county in the state.
To help our existing businesses grow. And I've always said this in the restaurant business, is my background. It's easier to keep a customer than it is to go get a new one. And so that's one of the tools that we have. And we've had some companies actually move here, because you have to be an established business to take advantage of that. It's not like a new one, but they've moved here and then taken advantage of it. So, good. Thanks. I'm glad that that's getting out there.
Absolutely, thank you. Cabinet Door. So Cabinet Door is actually looking at a waste-to-energy project. And waste-to-energy has been a conversation that I've heard in multiple capacities recently. We all see Project Barber Pole as another waste-to-energy project on the bottom of this list. But with Cabinet Door, this feels really similar to another conversation we recently had with Hazelnut Growers of Oregon and looking at their waste-to-energy desires with hazelnut shells. And so we see mass timber, we see some waste product from production, we see our hazelnut industry gaining momentum and desire to investigate waste-to-energy projects. And so both of those, that's ongoing. Since I already mentioned Project Barber Pole, we did understand that the site location at the Covanta site is no longer a feasible option for them. However, they do still desire to locate in the mid-Willamette Valley, and so we're still working with them to see if we can find an alternate location. Pacific Coast Producers, they're also looking at shoring up their production. They have about 30% capacity at their current facility, and so we've been working with them, connecting them with Willamette Workforce Partnership and with OMEP to help them with production increases.
For innovation and entrepreneurship, we've talked to you before about the Launch Mid-Valley Regional Innovation Hub. We did get continued funding from the state to, continue to offer the resources through that. I know you all know Mike White. He's one of our most visible resource that we have, our Venture Catalyst. This also allows us to continue the coffee clubs for entrepreneurs in Salem and Silverton. And we're planning another Pitch Willamette, which is when kind of a curated group of 8 to 10 businesses come and do their pitch to investors. It's a really great night. It's open to the public. We'll be doing that sometime in the late summer here in Salem. It says in here that we completed cohort number 10 of the Latino Microenterprise Development Program. We did get some additional funding from Business Oregon, and cohort number 11 is currently underway here in Salem. I think roughly 300 people have graduated from that program, entrepreneurs and small business owners.
SEDCOR Construction Alliance with infrastructure and workforce development. So the Construction Alliance continues to support construction industry through community projects, establish career pathways, and connecting service providers. Some of the work that's happened recently is helping pre-apprenticeship. We connected a certificate-based program called Instruction Construction with JFK High School. They're going to be working with those students to help with applied math skills through pre-apprenticeship and construction trades certificate-based training. We've also been doing a lot of work with Oregon Employability Skills, helping them to constitute that into micro-credentials in alignment with Shemekada's workforce development. And then also with Willamette Workforce Partnership, we always have them in our hip pocket whenever we're talking with industry to help them make connections with their youth employability program and the Train to Retain program. So. And then continued, North Marion County Business Service Alliance, we're actually having our second business service fair next week at the Brooks campus for Shemekada. So we continue to partner with them and support them with Business Service Alliance fairs. and any work that we can find up in North Marion County. We've continued to work with Silverton and Mount Angel on Enterprise Zone. So their Enterprise Zone actually shuttered in 2023, and so we're working with them to reconstitute those Enterprise Zones. And then the sidewalk program. I can talk a little bit about that, Eric. I don't know if you have anything you want to provide for input on it.
Basically, it's a program that started with the City of Independence a few years ago, working with the Willamette Workforce Partnership, and it just ties together a city's need to look at infrastructure like sidewalks and communities' need in trying to train young workers. And this is done with a contractor, with some donations of time and effort and some funding and materials. And we most recently did one in Carlton and kind of relaunched the program with the Willamette Workforce Partnership. Carlton was the first community to jump on board. I think 8 blocks of City of Carlton sidewalks were renovated, and it gave training opportunities to, I think, 6 at-risk youth up to age 24 as part of the program. So they leave the program with skills. They work with contractors. I think the City of Newburgh was going to be hiring one of those participants for a full-time job as a result as well. We've talked to a couple communities here in Marion County about doing this, and we're working with the Willamette Workforce Partnership to sort of relaunch the program and make that available. I think particularly small communities can benefit from that.
Who pays for the cost of the materials?
Some cases it's donated. We've been able to get materials donated. Cities often have a little bit of a budget for some of this as well. In the case of Carlton, there were a couple businesses that actually contributed anonymously to the city as well. It was in their interest because it was part of a central business district.
Okay.
That's a great.
And really, I should emphasize the contributions from whether it's the debris removal and dealing with that to gravel, businesses have kind of come out of the woodwork to support that in these communities.
So some metrics from engagement in the last quarter. We had 24 community visits, 40 business visits, 7 SEDCOR events in Marion County, 11 partner-hosted events, 30 committee meetings, and 11 trainings.
And they just talked about the sidewalk program. We did have a lunch and learn as part of the relaunch with Willamette Workforce Partnership and had about 40 people attend. We did our 3rd marketplace, the pop-up and pitch with the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network. And brought 20 consumer packaged goods, food and beverage manufacturers. It was hosted here at the Grand, in the lobby of the Grand Hotel, right before Thanksgiving. And some of the economic development team for the county was there as well to kind of enjoy it. It was a really, really good event. The pitches we couldn't really hear all that well. I think we try to give an opportunity for the businesses to pitch their wares and have that experience. But we saw some businesses talking to each other about opportunities to work together. Another good example of just the variety of small businesses that are making really cool things in the region. And we hope to continue to do that again this year. And it was nice having it around the holidays, except my only problem is I walked there and I had about 40 pounds of goods that I bought to haul back. And this is a little bit dated information, but I can report on the Ag Breakfast. We had 180 plus people at the Ag Breakfast this year, so it was one of our better attended ones. We just completed the industry tour at GK Machine, their new building, another company that's been able to take advantage of the rural industrial property tax. One of the great things about that tour as well is not only did we get to see GK finally in a facility that was built to suit them and all the work that they do, but also we visited Canopy, which is the startup automatic or robotic greenhouse company that Gary's been helping these folks with, and pretty impressive to see what they're doing there on site at the GK facility, a new GK facility. I want to highlight our industry insights coming up this week, next Wednesday. This is on the building performance standards, and there was a little bit of irony in, as the state has been, and the governor's office has been talking about, the prosperity plan and trying to cut regulation and issues that businesses in Oregon face. But the Department of Energy, I think last summer, sent out this building performance standard letter to building owners that basically says, we need you to be energy efficient, and if you're not going to hit those marks, that you will be, monetarily, your wrist will be slapped at some point.
That's a good way to expand business in Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've always said that our number one targeted industry is irony. But so the Energy Trust contacted us about resources for building performance standards, and I think what we want to do is be sure that folks are aware, if they haven't seen this, public sector buildings are also included in this. Manufacturing is, you can opt out, but you have to apply to opt out for manufacturers, but warehouse and distribution, data centers, call centers, that does not fall under industrial definition. Those are still eligible as well. So we're just trying to get word out about the resources that are there and to point out the fact that, this is not a well-timed issue to be bringing up with folks. But
When and where is that?
it's at the Broadway Commons. It's our usual Tuesday or Wednesday monthly event,
What time?
noon.
I can't make it. Interesting.
We just calendared our summer industry tour, which I wanted to be sure to get on your calendars too, 'cause it's here in Marion County. June 25th, we'll be touring the Hazelnut Growers of Oregon facility, which I know you've all seen, but getting an update from them on what they've been up to, which is pretty significant. And we're tying that into a SEDCOR happy hour at the Top Wire, a little bit up the
nice.
road there, so
Okay.
able to support the folks there too. And Economic Summit coming up in April,
Just make sure it gets on.
we're bringing that back. That used to be pre-COVID, kind of one of SEDCOR's bigger events, and we've got Tim Dewey coming from formerly the University of Oregon, bringing his economic forecast, and then some other economists and organizations just talking about what's impacting and hopefully opportunities and ahead of us in the coming year.
You're going to have economists come and talk to business owners
Yes.
about what's impacting us? Can you say at the end that elections matter?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that at a golf tournament? Is that
Then the
June
golf
5th?
then the golf tournament's June 5th.
Oh, I was like, it's at the, I'm not
Oh, the
golfing.
summit
we're gonna
is
talk to
April
economists.
20th.
Yeah, sorry. Summit's April 23rd, and the golf tournament's in June.
What's the theme for the golf tournament?
Hit it straight.
Comic books.
That's your theme. Comic books, okay.
Yeah.
Where is the golf
I know we
tournament?
have a much more clever name, if
No, I
Noreen were
already
here,
have-
she'd
I
be
already have
hitting
an
me on the
idea.
back of the head.
I
'cause we've
know what
got-
comic book I'm gonna do.
Yeah, comic books, comic strips, it's at Illahee again.
Yeah.
But it is always a good time. I mean, I think people, you've played, it's
Yeah.
fun to watch people have a good time, and we look forward to that. And then just keep our fingers crossed that it's a nice day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then finally, just to wrap up, we want the Mid-Valley to be known as a great place to start and grow a business, an equitable, inclusive business community, and a region with unique strengths in agriculture, food production, manufacturing, and technology. I can just say in the last couple of weeks, I've toured two of our, kind of better-known food processors, and it's nice to hear good news happening about companies that are, seeking to expand, that are doing well here despite some of the challenges that they have, and despite temptations to go other places. I mean, one of the things that I mentioned specifically at the Aurora meeting early in the week was there's a lot of states pulling businesses out of Oregon, but we really have to do less as far as us pushing them out of Oregon, and I think that's really where
How
we
come you're on the
have.
Governor's Prosperity Council? I know she wouldn't listen to you, but it'd be great if you were. Because, have you filled out their survey?
I filled out the survey, yes.
It wasn't very nice when I said, this is a stupid survey. You know the answers to these questions. Why are you asking? And
Yeah.
here's my position on all of this. I didn't put my name in there, but for the record, when they find it, it's me.
Well, it is important. I mean, some of this we all know some of these things, and, you know, I joke that we've been talking about some of these things for 20-plus years, you know, it's, and it does get frustrating that it's, you know, it's Groundhog Day over and over again. With the Prosperity Group, you know, one concern I did have is I looked at our, you know, not to be parochial, I looked at our region, you know, we do not have, we have one business that is actually had a Hillsborough address, so I didn't catch it, but it's a winery owner, Lois Cho, who's in Yamhill County with a Hillsborough address. But that's our only representative.
Right.
So we have reached out to her and shared our thoughts and continue to do so.
Is she like-minded in your positions?
She seems to be very interested in hearing more about what the issues are, what's stifling innovation for businesses here, and has had her own experience with some challenges too.
Okay.
So I'm happy to answer any other questions or. Any questions, commissioners?
Nope.
Very good.
Interrupted
Oh,
that.
yeah, I did have one question. Kip, you mentioned the Mosaic Law, aviation. What, tell us about what that law is and what that changed.
Yeah, so right now Vans is only able to build 49% of an aircraft. And so they're kit planes that you buy in like
Right.
chunks and then you put the thing together. They could actually help expedite that by building 49% of it, but they couldn't do over that. The change in Mosaic law allows them to do a full build. And the community that they're going over, the business community, is there is a very aged aircraft fleet at the schools where they teach you to fly. So think of Cessnas from the 80s being replaced with Vans from 2025. So the changes in Mosaic law are really going to allow them to fill out that space quite nicely.
So that was because of liability, right? So if they only build 49%, the plane crashes, not our liability.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's changed in protecting them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just amazed that when I toured that for the first time and just saw if you wanted to, you know, build your own plane,
Right.
not the kit. I mean, just the idea of the 3 different sets of crates that come to your house at various times to start doing that, it's amazing to know how many people have done that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a huge market.
But your house
that-
better have a runway, because once you put it together, you gotta take off.
Yeah, that's right. But also, you know, we talked about this at one of our meetings.
Yeah, look
and,
at you thinking ahead.
Their planes, a lot of them have Garmin, Garmin technology in them. So it's another business here in the community that's also benefiting from that. So
It's also a business that promotes access for women in the industry, and
Yeah.
they're very proactive about it, and they prefer starting young. A 16-year-old daughter go up there at their request to do a tour because she is interested in aviation. It's a scary industry for women because it's so male-dominated, and I think they do one of the best jobs of recruiting young
that's good to
females
hear.
at young ages, and then accelerate them into the aviation industry to become, you know, much grander pilots in different areas. It's an asset that they don't really talk about, that I think they should do more talking about, not just for the recruitment side of it, but I think for the success side of it for them.
we've talked to them. This is another thing that's been brought up in the past, but I think with the new energy at the Aurora Airport, folks that are involved, we've talked to them about trying to put on some sort of open house and get the businesses that are there, and not just from the youth and the families experiencing what the opportunities might be to work in these industries, get them better connected with the schools where they're not, so that they're actually able to look at curriculum and get them involved with the CTE programs, but also just to try to let folks in the region know what is there. I mean,
I was just gonna say, Aurora should do it, just a walkthrough, so they know what the asset is, so they can be more positive about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you go through and, I mean, when you actually think, I mean, you folks know this, but we went to 3 different businesses the other day after our meeting. You know, Life Flight speaks for itself as far
Right.
as what it does. Helicopter transportation services, I mean, they deal with firefighting, you know, choppers all over the West Coast, you know, and then in between
two
them.
of them. You got Columbia
And Columbia, yeah.
HTC.
And
Wilson Construction that goes worldwide,
yeah.
building.
Yes, I mean, you leave there just feeling really good about the businesses that are here in the region and here in the county. And we love to broadcast that, as you know, and I know you folks do as well. And we need to figure out how we get the people that really need to hear that in the room to see this
They
firsthand.
don't wanna hear it though, Eric. I mean, you know as well as we do, that they're gonna take away what they're gonna take away, and someone's gonna come out of there and say, It's a danger to have a helicopter flying over my house because there's blades above that thing and it's in the sky.
Well, I was telling them a personal anecdote that, I live near Salem Health, and I can see the helipad, when it comes down, and that
Yeah.
an occasion will wake me up, and I will think, there's somebody in a lot worse shape than I am, that
Yeah.
right now that needs
Just
to
pray
be
that they
just.
survive. That's a
However, I
dangerous
do get
situation.
annoyed
Yeah.
at the wild turkeys that are in the woods waking me up. So that's the, that I'll complain
Well,
about.
there's
but
a solution to that.
I'll be very
Just
popular
vote
in
no
my
on
neighborhood.
IP 28 and then you can continue to execute that solution.
Come Thanksgiving. All right.
Well, thank you very much
Yeah,
for your
thank you.
time.
Thank you.
guys. Good work.
And we'll
Appreciate
follow
it.
up with the information.
Great, thank you.
And thanks to what is our team now? Community and Economic Development? Is that the right department?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.
It's a work in
Right.
progress for all of us.
Thanks, Kelly. And
Bye.
Chip, you're here too. All of them, everybody
You're right.
from the department.
I'm like,
He's actually the
supposed to be
chair.
here, right?
He's just,
I forgot, yeah, I'm gonna turn over the, I slid the gavel back over here. It's yours.
All right, we're going to consider approval of a proclamation designating the month of March 2026 as National Problem Gambling Awareness Month in Marion County. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Heidi Johnson, and I work on the Health Promotion and Prevention team at Marion County, and I do problem gambling prevention. Thank you for your consideration of problem gambling as designated March as Problem Gambling Awareness Month. So, first, we're just going to talk about the importance of spreading awareness about problem gambling and what problem gambling is. So problem gambling is the continuation of gambling activities despite negative personal, social, or financial consequences. And the importance of increasing awareness is to lower stigma and shame surrounding seeking help, promote responsible gambling, decrease negative individual and social impacts, as well as financial instability, strain on families and relationships, criminal justice involvement, and then co-occurring mental health and substance use concerns. And then we're going to talk about some different initiatives that we have done throughout the year and we are continuing to do to spread awareness and prevent problem gambling. But first, look, it's us from last year. So this year's problem gambling national campaign is Caring Communities, Stronger Future. And I really liked the idea of connection within this. So community connection, okay. When communities come together, silence is replaced with support and isolation is replaced with connection. And these are some of the awareness activities and initiatives that the program has been doing, so we'll get into those. First is the middle school art search. So this has been an annual event that we have been doing previously with the state, and then since I have been here, we have been doing the art search. Last year, we received about 150 entries from middle schoolers throughout Marion County promoting hope and help for those struggling with gambling, and we use them as awareness activities. We give them out at different events. We give them out to all of the schools, and we also use the voting as a way to spread awareness within Marion County. The employees get an email with all of the different top 20 art, and they can vote on it and rank it. So it serves as an awareness activity internally with our employees as well. Plus, it's just fun. People like to see the art. And then the top 12 students are recognized, and I get the honor of going to their schools, to their assemblies or classrooms and surprising them. And then the winning art, again, is showcased in a calendar that we give out all over the community. And then iLead Summit is an event that has been going on, I believe, 17 years. And Marion County is very much involved in it. It is a collaborative. It is led by a youth committee as well as different community partners. And we just had it on March 7th, and it was a great success. Well attended. More people came than we had registered, which is not generally the issue. So we had to grab tables and pull them out and get prepared for all of these 20-something extra youth we weren't expecting. And this year, as always, we have workshops that are about life readiness, personal growth, mental health. We incorporate substance use, mental health, and problem gambling prevention within the summit. This year, we were able to get a guest to come from the Oregon Council on Problem Gambling. He is actually the director, and he did a workshop about investing and risk and taught the youth about investing, and then also incorporated problem gambling prevention throughout that, which is really unique because I don't think that youth really get an opportunity often to learn as much about finance, but specifically investing, so I was excited to bring that opportunity. And then we did some other, we had a vaping presentation there as well to talk about substance use prevention. We had a couple other financial literacy workshops, as well as public speaking, other mental health. So it was really well attended and really successful, and I feel honored that I get to be part of that every year. It's probably the most fun thing that I do at my job, besides the art contest.
So who did you bring to?
His name is Glenn Yamagata, and he is from the Oregon Council on Problem Gambling. He's the actual director, and he has a background in he went to Yale, and he got 2 degrees at Yale, so I was very surprised that we were able to get him to come for free to iLead and do a workshop. But he talked about investing, stats, and how to understand risk and what is a more safe risk and what is a scarier risk, and how do you determine that, and what's a safe investment. He talked a lot about making sure that you have your own savings account, you have money coming in, and answered a lot of questions that you've had about investing, because they don't really get that topic often. So
That's great. He works for the Oregon Lottery?
Oregon Council on Problem Gambling. So there's a council in Oregon that works on problem gambling. They do work with OHA, as well as they do work with people who do like research and studies for counseling or for problem gambling. And the lottery is kind of involved because they also will meet, but he does not work for the Oregon Lottery, no.
Got it, okay. It sounds interesting. I want to go see his presentation now.
I know, well, I think it's recorded.
Okay.
So I will see. It's recorded, I just have to make sure that it all gets, we actually had Capital Community Media come and record a few of the workshops and then record some of throughout the summit. So as long as we get the recordings, then we'll post them live and people can go watch them after the fact. And then we have been doing this Healthy Choices video contest in collaboration with Polk County and Capital Community Media, as well as Salem Health, for 4 years, well, the 4 years that I have been here, and then we did it a year before I started. And every year we get increasingly more participation. The goal is to promote protective factors and let youth use their voice to speak to other youth. So they create videos, submit them to us, and then we have an awards night at Capital Community where they come, we roll out a red carpet, we get cupcakes, and we invite their families and educators, and we watch all the videos and announce the winners. We give out trophies. And this year we had more than 30 youth participants. And I just found out that the winner of last year's contest and this year's contest, he just got into film school he just graduated, got into film school. So
What's his home high school?
he is from West Salem. It's a Polk Marion collaborative. We mostly get videos from McNary. They are very, very good at submitting videos. We have a great connection with the teacher there. Silverton, we got 2 videos from Silverton this year, and then this is the second year that West Salem has been involved. So, and then we are also conducting a community readiness assessment. We did this in 2018 as well. The point of the community readiness assessment is to gauge awareness and readiness to address the problem of gambling and identify gaps in resources, and then education and support. And so we're trying to assess what stage Marion County is of readiness for stages of change. And we were supposed to do it every 5 years. The state is doing it as well, and we're doing it in the county, and then other counties are also doing it. But then when COVID happened, they decided to push it back because they thought the numbers would be a little bit off. So we're in the middle of conducting it again right now. I've done 6 of the 8 interviews, interviewing different community sectors throughout Marion County, trying to have more diverse locations to get a good sample of Marion County's understanding of problem gambling. And then we score the interviews, and then we will use that to help with future initiatives and a better understanding of what readiness level Marion County is at. And also, it helps us strengthen and educate our community partners, because we meet with community partners to ask these questions. Another major thing that problem gambling prevention, as well as other prevention efforts within the county, are working on is building connection. Problem gambling program and mental health promotion program have been working on connection events all throughout last year, and now we are working on building presentations that we can do whenever we need to, as well as give to community partners to be able to. And the importance of this is that connection is a protective factor for many addictive and risky behaviors. And then just some other, this is us with Caesar the llama. At Jefferson High School a couple weeks ago, Kelly and I went and tabled there, and we talked about stress and emotion regulation, and just how do you kind of boost your mental health so you're prepared for things when you're stressed out or anxious. And we gave out little kits, and we talked to the youth, and we brought Caesar because he makes everybody happy, and all the kids were very happy and smiley. And we do other things like classroom presentations. Right now, on Thursday, we're going to be doing an outreach event at Corbin Community College. Kelly and I from the mental health promotion team are going to be showing Inside Out 2, and then doing activities with the college students to talk about your mental health. And it's going to be a fun event, I think. They're excited. And
It's at Corbin or Schmeketa?
Corbin,
Okay.
yeah. So, did I say Corbin Community College?
You said,
Okay.
You did. You said Corbin Community College.
No, no.
You mean Schmeketa?
Well, we are working with Schmeketa as well, but
Yeah,
not on
okay.
Thursday. That's so funny. When you said that, I was like,
Community college in a different context.
I just
community
college
college
in
that
our
you pay a
community.
lot of money to go to. And then these are just some program initiatives for 2026. Again, strengthen community prevention efforts, increase awareness of problem gambling, promote protective factors among youth, encourage responsible gambling, and then reduce stigma and improve access to help. Lastly, how people can seek help if they are struggling with gambling. There's a new app called Avive that just came out about a year ago, and it's actually free to those in Oregon who want to access it. It is an app where people can set limits if they would like to, or they can set a timeline for quitting. There's a community on the app as well. And it's just a really cool resource. I haven't seen any other resources like this for problem gambling. I've seen it a lot for alcohol use. It's similar to some of the quitting alcohol. You can count how many days that you have not been gambling, and you can talk to a community on there. And then, of course, you can go to opgr.org, and anybody who would like to seek help for gambling, for problem gambling, can get help for free in Oregon. You can also call 1-877-MY-LIMIT. And do you have any questions?
Oh, sorry. Do you have any questions, commissioners?
No, I don't.
The financial literacy training, that was for high school students?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 9th through 12th.
Wow.
Even if the video is not edited, can you still get it to us?
Yeah,
And if we need John to call over to get it, we can.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I just love the idea.
Yeah, I don't need to see the whole thing. I just want to see that particular section of the presentation.
Yeah, we had 2 other financial literacy classes or workshops the same day. MAPS came out and did some on more basic finance, so that was more advanced. And then they did one on more basic finance, like credit, debit, saving, and then this is the first time we've offered a more advanced workshop as far as investing.
Does the savings component actually talk about like lifetime savings, or just like this is what a savings account does for you?
I didn't didn't watch that one this year. I would have to double check. I
Savings
think,
versus investment, I guess is what I'm.
yeah, it's more, that one is more basic, like,
Okay.
what is a savings account? Why do we have it? The investing one was more like, how does money compound over time?
Okay.
And if you invested so much money, what would that look like in this amount of time? What is the importance of not just throwing your money, like diversifying? Why diversify? Why not just, respond to somebody on Facebook Messenger who says, buy Bitcoin, like those kinds of preparedness for investing and smart investments, and then the risk involved.
Okay.
I love the concept of how investing is different than gambling. I think that's like a really important idea for people to understand. Because I think when you're younger or you're early in investing, like, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. And so it can feel a little bit like gambling. Like, I don't know,
Like you're taking a gamble.
I pick some things and then maybe I lose money, maybe I make money.
The stock market?
It doesn't feel any different than, going to
And there are
the lottery or something. But actually investing is fundamentally different than doing lottery. And so I think just putting that idea in people's heads and helping them sort of think about risk and education and how you can manage risk, right? And how that's fundamentally different
Yeah.
than going to a
Understanding
casino.
the odds.
Yeah, so there's a proverb, it's steady plodding brings prosperity, hasty speculation brings poverty. That's the difference. And I think back to, investing over a period of time, a little bit at a time is what you get there. But I think back to a meeting I was in when I was involved in the Restaurant Association. It was like 1990 or 91. And I'd have to go back and check the dates exactly, but we were with a guy who did investments for the Restaurant Association. And I think the market was like at 7,500 at that time. And he said, within the year, it's going to hit 10,000. What is it? This year, it hit 50,000. So if you had invested, $1 back in 1990 or whatever, that dollar would be worth, 6 times what that dollar is. And I think that's the difference in investing.
Well, the kids asked, so that we have a steering committee, a youth steering committee, and when they asked for investing, I wanted to be very strategic about that because I didn't want somebody who wasn't educated on risks to come in and talk about investing, as there is so many similarities to gambling, and it is a very high risk thing, especially if you don't understand risk. So I was really excited to bring that lens into it and also sneak problem gambling prevention in a workshop, because sometimes when you walk up to a youth and say, do you want to learn about problem gambling? They weirdly say, no, I don't want to learn about that. So
No, I think it's super
Right.
wise and super smart, because I think at the baseline level, investing is about owning a business. It's about owning a piece of a business. Owning, so like when Commissioner Cameron ran a restaurant, it's like he's making breakfast for me. I'm giving him money in exchange for that breakfast. That's an exchange of value that benefits both people. I'm hungry, I want breakfast. Commissioner Cameron's workers want to get paid. Commissioner Cameron wants to make some money for his work in the business. And the magic about investing is we have a market that allows you, the individual, to be the owner of a business like Commissioner Cameron's business. You get some of the profits of what that business makes. That's a fundamentally different thing than picking red or black and rolling the dice. It's a fundamentally different thing. And so I think it's really important for people to just understand that those aren't the same things. And yes, there's risk involved with investing, but it's a different kind of risk. It's a knowable risk. And at the foundation of this is the exchange of value. People selling goods and services to each other. That's a fundamentally different thing.
I would add one thing as far as the way that the brain responds, though, and that was one thing that we added. So when you are investing in something and you check your investment, and let's say that it's going really, really well, then your brain might respond similarly to if you were gambling. And so I really wanted to bring that element in it, that you need to be strategic even about how you're checking your investments and really check your brain. Are you getting too excited and pulling your money too quickly? Are you throwing all your money in? So there's that element as well.
Yeah, you can gamble, with the stock market, but that's not investing,
Right.
and you shouldn't, right? So, yeah, that's very good. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
And my
thank you.
daughter was thrilled to get the flyer about the art contest.
Is she going to participate?
She is. In
Okay,
fact,
good.
she thanked me so much for getting it for her, and I did like nothing. You guys did all the work. So she actually, the thank
It
you
was
actually
Susan.
to-
She
to
reminded
you
me,
guys.
so.
But she's
At least you
delighted.
followed through. Do we want to get a photo?
Yeah, we have to do our whole thing first.
Yeah.
don't we?
Okay, well,
All right.
leave
all
at
right.
10:30, so move along.
I'm about to get kicked out as the chair. Okay, I will take a
Greg
motion.
Silverton.
You want to make motions?
Sure, no, because I'm doing the consent. He's
Okay.
doing-
I'm all ready for the
You wanna
photo.
make a
Yeah,
I will
sorry, I know.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve a proclamation designated the month of March 2026 as National Problem Gambling Awareness Month in Marion County.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, take us away, Commissioner Bethel.
No, you, Kevin, go. He made
Commissioner
the
Cameron,
motion.
take us away.
All right, take
He
us
just
away.
got here.
I'm just trying to get you, you seem impatient, so I want to let
I
you.
am impatient,
All
I
right, I'm going
gotta
to
go.
talk over the both of you. In the matter of proclaiming the month of March 2026 as Problem Gambling Awareness Month in Marion County, proclamation. This matter came before the Marion County Board of Commissioners at its regularly scheduled meeting on March 11, 2026. Whereas the National Council on Problem Gambling and the State of Oregon have designated March 26th as Problem Gambling Awareness Month, and
Whereas the health of Marion County residents is of utmost importance to the well-being of Marion County as a whole, and whereas problem gambling is a public health concern impacting Marion County residents of all ages and backgrounds in all communities and has significant personal, social, health, and financial repercussions, and
Whereas problem gambling is treatable and treatment is effective in minimizing this harm to both individuals and society as a whole. And whereas Marion County is dedicated to reducing the negative effects of gambling for all Marion County residents through balanced policies and effective systems of problem gambling services, such as targeted prevention programs and treatment services. Now therefore, it's hereby proclaimed that the month of March 2026 is Problem Gambling Awareness Month in Marion County. Okay, now we'll get that picture for you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
What? Just a second. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. I'm not a photographer, but.
that diamond's reflecting in my eyes.
These two ladies want to grab a photo with us really quick.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Just know you're recorded on TV when it happens. Okay. John, you're late. You want us to do another one on the proclamation?
Heidi.
Okay.
Huh?
Thank you. Hi, nice to meet you. Amanda Staley.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Good. The
Yeah, thank you.
Wait, John, I just want to get one with Heidi.
It's not.
Huh? And a proclamation? Yeah, hey, we need to have John get one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There we go.
Guys ready? 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Who's doing the consent agenda?
Me, I am
Rebecca?
today. All right. Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda under Board of Commissioners OLCC license to recommend approval to S&J Holdings Hitchin Post LLC DBA Hitchin Post, and approve Amendment Number 1 to the Memorandum of Understanding with Marion County Public Works to close out the funding agreement for the American Rescue Plan Act, Fargo Sewer Collection System Improvement Project, and transfer $230,845.05 in unspent ARPA funds back to the Marion County Board of Commissioners for reallocation to other ARPA projects. I'm sorry, can I just pause for a second? Steve, because there's no slate involved, right?
Which one are you talking about?
Number 4,
Fargo Sewer Collection System.
I do not believe so.
just Brooks and Mill City.
That's my understanding.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, everybody. Under Business Services, approve the contract for services with Power Systems West in the not-to-exceed amount of $119,726.10 for the repair of a generator located at Marion County Public Works and the rental of a temporary portable generator through June 30th, 2026. Under District Attorney's Office, approve the incoming funds 2026 Violence Against Women Act grant agreement with the Oregon Department of Justice Crime Victim and Survivor Services Division in the amount of $108,508.27 to support the provision of direct services for victims of domestic violence retroactive to January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Under Information Technology, approve a purchase order with CDW Government in the amount of $761,301.52 for the purchase of hypervisor software maintenance through March 21st, 2031. Under Public Works, approve an order to adopt the findings approving the BioClean Industries Corporation application attached as Exhibit 1 and the franchise agreement attached as Exhibit 2 for the operation of a regulated medical waste transfer facility, and approve an order to establish a temporary designated speed zone on a portion of Brook Lake Road Northeast to facilitate public safety during construction for the Brooks Community Service District Drinking Water Improvement Project, and approve the construction contract with CPM Development Corporation, DBA Sigmund Excavation and Construction, in the amount of $147,857.50 to provide construction services for the Salmon Falls Park Improvement Project through August 31st, 2026. And under the Treasurer's Office, approve an order to establish a petty cash fund for the Marion County Health and Human Services Rural Services Team in the amount of $100 for small departmental purchases and to reimburse parking fees to county employees parking at pay stations. And finally, approve an order to establish a petty cash fund for Marion County Health and Human Services Addiction Treatment Services in the amount of $100 for the small departmental purchases and to reimburse parking fees to county employees parking at pay stations.
I'll second the
We have a
motion.
motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I just want to confirm, I talked with the Public Works Director, and he confirmed Sladen is not involved
Thank
in
you.
number 4.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any further discussion?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Okay, next up, is John here? Nope. Austin's here. Okay, we're going to consider adoption of administrative ordinance for zone change, case number 25-002, Creative Electric LLC. Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm here filling in for John to consider adoption.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for the record. I apologize.
Sorry, no, you're fine. Austin Barnes, Marion County Public Works Planning Division. Do you need my address?
Nope, you're fine.
Great.
Just formalities.
No, sure. Thank you. Again, we're here to consider adoption of an administrative ordinance approving zone change 25-002 for Creative Electric LLC. The Marion County Hearings Officer held a duly noticed public hearing on May 15th, 2025 and issued a decision on July 8th, 2025 to deny the zone change. Applicants appealed the hearings officer's decision, and the board held a duly noticed public hearing on the application on October 22nd, 2025, considered all the evidence in the record, and approved the request. The ordinance and findings have been prepared, and the notice of adoption was given on March 4th, 2026. The administrative ordinance is now set for formal adoption. The staff recommendation is to approve the administrative ordinance for Creative Electric LLC. Other options for consideration are to direct staff to make changes and approve a modified ordinance or not approve the ordinance. And I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions for Austin?
I don't have any questions.
No.
Okay, then I'll take the motion.
All right, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we adopt an administrative ordinance for zone change, case number 25-002, Creative Electric LLC.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Thanks, Austin.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we're going to consider approval of the construction contract with K&E Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $7,257,067, which utilizes federal funding, the estimated amount of $6,511,766, and county funding in the estimated amount of $745,301 to provide construction for the North Fork Slide Stabilization Slide 2 project on North Fork Road near milepost 5 through April 30th, 2027. Wow, you made me read all of that.
Yes.
I think it's your choice.
So, for the record, Ryan Crowther, Marion County Public Works, and as you said, I'm not going to say all of that. We're here to talk about our North Fork Road Slide 2 stabilization and the contract with K&E Excavating. Our project's located near milepost 5 on North Fork Road. You can see here on the map. For those of you that drive North Fork Road, this is the gravel section of North Fork Road. And so Slide 2 is the first slide in that complex, and so it's the beginning of the gravel section. So the project scope includes stabilizing and mitigating Slide 2. That's going to require excavation of about 108,750 cubic yards of soil and backfilling that with stone embankment to create what's called a shear key buttress, which basically locks in the soil into stable soil below the slide. We're also going to reconstruct approximately 1,350 feet of roadway to a 22-foot wide paved surface, and then everything that comes with that roadway: guardrail, signing, striping, stormwater treatment, and various other aspects of road construction. One thing to note, this is not the entire gravel section that will be paved. It's just under half. But we are making progress on stabilizing those slides. This is one of 3 slides that is active within that gravel section, so we're taking care of the most important of the 3 at this point. So this is a conceptual diagram just to give folks a sense of scale of what this really is. You can see the gray area. That's what we're going to excavate and backfill. Now this is just one slice of the slide, so it varies slightly as you go from one end to the other. But you can see on the left, each of those little marks is 50 feet vertically. And so it's a lot of excavation.
Wow.
All right, our low bidder was K&E Excavation, or K&E Excavating. As you said, they bid $7,257,067. It is a federally funded project, so the county is responsible for 10.27% of that. Our schedule includes construction and a road closure during that construction between April and October of this year. One thing to note, the construction contractor is responsible for their own schedule. They determine when they start. As they get us information, as they get on board and have an executed contract, they will provide a much more detailed construction schedule to us. As soon as we have exact dates, we will get those out to the public and make sure that we are making everyone aware of what's going on. We also have an open house for people who are really interested in the project, scheduled for March 25th from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Elkhorn Fire Station. And so there will be more information on our Facebook about that as well.
What parks are on the other side of the slide?
The only park that is on our side of the slide, or on the Highway 22 west side of the slide, is North Fork Park. So the rest are on the other side of the slide.
Right.
And there will be a detour that goes over Gates Hill to reach those
That's right,
parks.
okay.
But you will have to take Gates Hill Road to reach them.
Did we had asked in I think the work session or management update for Lonnie to reach out to ODOT to try to get signage on 22. Was that offered, was that accepted? Did they say yes?
I am in the process of coordinating that. They seemed receptive
Okay.
when I talked to them, and said, well, they'll get their maintenance folks involved too, but it did sound like it would be a thing that most likely could happen.
Great, okay.
Frank, can you put the map slide back up? I think that, because you just prompted some questions. So there's Gates Hill Road right there. So our parks, I just want to make sure. So North Fork is below the construction, right? North Fork Park is down here.
North Fork Park is to the
It's
left.
It's above. So to get to any of our parks, you have to go over Gates Hill.
Yeah.
So that's gonna, right?
I believe North Fork Park's around milepost 3, which would be before this
Just
slide.
before it?
Just before this slide.
Oh, right here. Okay. Because this is where construction is, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So we were just talking yesterday about parks and attendance and parking. So it's going to impact, Salmon Falls is above it, right?
It will.
Yeah. And Salmon Falls is going to open this year, so that's going to impact.
At least because it's opening this year, even though we'll talk about it, I don't think it'll be as flooded this year as it would be next year.
Correct, because of that construction. People will go to
Well,
Northport. Yeah.
And just the lack of peer awareness, you know,
Yeah.
people don't pay attention, so.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be impacted. A lot of traffic on Gates Hill Road if people are going to go to
Yeah.
Salmon Falls. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm glad we're finally here. Ready?
I'll take a motion.
All right, I move to approve the construction contract with K&E Excavating in the amount of $7,257,067, which utilizes federal funding in the estimated amount of $6,511,766, and county funding in the estimated amount of $745,301 to provide construction for the North Fork Slide Stabilization Slide 2 project on North Fork Road near milepost 5 through April 30th, 2027.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Always thank you. Yeah.
Anything else, commissioners, before we adjourn?
Nope.
Nope.
I
Okay.
think we're good.
We
Oh,
are.
yeah, before you adjourn, I did look up the Dow Jones.
Yeah.
If I would have if somebody, when I was born, put $1,000 into the Dow Jones Industrial, today that would be worth almost $100,000. That was what we were talking about, is just a investment over a period of time is what, it's low risk, very low risk if you let it sit there for a long time.
Well, I think the basis of it is the question of, especially like the Dow, or do you think that companies in America will grow over time? That
Right.
really is, because
Right.
really the basis of it is there are companies that are selling goods and services to the American public, and so I think, yeah, it's just fundamentally different than betting,
Yeah.
because there's actually.
You think about the
genuine value
companies in
happening.
1957 or 56, the Dow Jones was at I looked it up, it was at 470 or 477 or something like that.
Right.
And now it's at 47,000. But
Right.
think of all the different companies that have, there's still a few around.
Right.
That were in that, but all the different companies that have come into that over a period of time.
Right.
And the innovation and the technology in the United States
Right.
is important. Of course, when you look at the world stock market, it's over that time too. There's a lot of other
Yeah.
places have grown, but I think that's the thing is just taking a little bit and investing it over a long period of time is what we're
It
trying
is
to
true for both
get
your
to.
time and your money, so that when
Right.
you started your business,
Yeah.
you were investing your time in a business, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, so it's a fundamentally different thing. You're making decisions about your time and your money, and that's different than gambling. You know?
Yeah.
That's a really important thing. So I'm glad they did that presentation.
Yeah, it's great. I'd like to see I'd like to see the video, yeah, what he actually said. Thank you for letting me indulge.
All right, we are adjourned.